Limits of the Flesh, Chapter 55, Fantasy Fiction by Azazyel. After the delightful bit of father-son-in-law bonding experience of carrying Sirzech's limp form onto a couch in another room as the girls discussed arcane and evil things to do with Rias's pregnancy in the prior room, my new father-in-law just set out some decanter filled with wine older than my last name. Haaaa. Zeoticus sighed as he sat by his older son's head and he took a sip from the shot glass he poured the wine into. Go ahead and have a cup, Jake. The last time I opened this bottle up was back when Sirzechs woke up and told me about Grayfia becoming pregnant. He spoke softly and I respectfully and carefully poured myself a half a shot glass's worth of the wine. You know, when you jumped into the Gremmery affairs and threw aside that whole marriage with the Phoenix clan, I wasn't exactly all that happy. Sure, I knew there would be some growing pains in Rias and Riser's marriage, but I knew the boy would be broken to heal while in our household. He ruminated before continuing. I am a very business and political creature, you see. It's part of the Gremmery bloodline of passive fate manipulation or luck that we have to insert ourselves into stuff to prosper, and that can blind us to the things around us on the path to our goals. He said, sighing as he finished off his shot while I gently sipped at my shot of the wine that was almost fighting my flesh crafting abilities, as its concentrated alcohol was certainly magical. But seeing Rias so happy with you, and to say nothing of the gifts you have given to integrating into the family, honestly I know all too well I came out ahead. I mean, a single one of the 30-odd cows makes more Phoenix tear milk in a week than actual Phoenix clan members make in a decade. He said wryly and then burst out into chuckles. To say nothing of the insane amount of money we are making selling the Phoenix tears milk, but just the live streams we host of the flying cows with their long blonde windswept hair make us millions every month, ha ha ha. Zeoticus cackled, making me snort. Anyway, Jake, so what are your plans nowadays? I heard you decided to be brave and make kaiju harem members using the blood of the serpent of the end's body-changing ability. He questioned pointedly. At his utter dog face, I couldn't help but chuckle wryly as recounted how I made a Medusa expy, and thankfully fate was sorta a thing in this universe but twisted like its drag so ball or whatever, so I was able to pull up a picture for him to see, and he whistled at the sight of her, and then the picture of her I had taken in reality as she in her Gorgon form was possessively squishing my upper body and face between her large breasts as she was so much damned bigger than I was in her Gorgon form. She reminds me of my darling Shori, he said, taking in the picture, and then leaning back and seeing my face he explained. Ah, she is a Lamia from Greece that I managed to woo during my travels in my youth. Anyway, Jake, as a man with a harem, the best advice I can give you is to set boundaries and make sure everyone knows what's going on and what said boundaries are. And thus for the next half an hour, as Sirzechs recovered from his fainting like a bitch at hearing his sister was pregnant, Zeoticus and I just bonded talking about our lives, his work as the head of the Gremmery family, and I talked about how much my life has been flipped on its head while entering the supernatural world yet still having so many normal life moments. Hell, I even basically reset his sleeping sickness as I checked his soul with the help of the Grail and found out that the sleeping sickness was a very long-lived devil's soul just falling apart before the mortal body did. So I was able to buy him a few years, but unless I reformatted and reformed his soul completely, I knew he was on limited time. After Sirzechs woke up and he joined the conversation, he asked me something rather interesting. Disregarding you making a new Medusa, the devil leadership and myself and Seraphol will be going to meet with the Greek pantheon's kings in Hades, Poseidon, and Zeus due to some issues with Hades, as his reapers have been pressing at our borders here in the underworld, Sirzechs explained before dropping the question on me. Well, Jake, as the son of all the previous Mao, wouldn't it be interesting to see more of the world and in turn get your name out there? He asked me, looking honestly curious to my answer. I realized that other than some super powerful entities that could shrug off my cheats like nothing but my denial of the divine from Lucifer and the serpent of the end combined with my scale male balance breaker of my boosted gear made me very dangerous, to say nothing of how I could become a tentacle monster if I wanted to use the Beelzebub bloodline and have my mental partitions control all the tentacles, and once I grasped them, with said tentacle I could kill them in moments with my flesh crafting. It's not supposed to be a big tense argument as we don't want to go to war or anything, honestly. But sport fighting in Greek festivals is common, so I figured you might enjoy meeting some of your peers. He offered and I nodded as I realized, to say nothing of getting out of Ko for a while with a couple of my creations, I could also copy some supernatural Greek DNA to assimilate the better parts into myself. Alright, I agree, Sirzechs. Or do I need to call you Oniai-chan now? I asked jokingly, and then I broke into hysterical giggles as the crimson-haired Satan shuddered and told me never to call him that again.